There comes a moment in life when someone hurts you, not loudly, not accidentally, but deliberate. And in that moment, you feel the urge to explain, to react, to defend your heart. But emotional intelligence teaches us something powerful. Your silence can speak louder than your pain. Today, I want to share 7 silent behaviors, not strategies for revenge, but reflections of inner strength that naturally make people regret hurting you. Silence as strength is one of the most misunderstood, yet most powerful forms of emotional intelligence. When someone hurts you, the instinct is often to react immediately, to explain yourself, to defend your intentions, or to demand an apology. But true strength does not rush to speak. Silence gives you space to breathe, to think, and to rise above the moment. It is not weakness, and it is not avoidance. It is conscious control. When you choose silence, you are choosing clarity over chaos and wisdom over impulse. Silence allows emotions to settle so they do not control your actions. It protects your dignity and preserves your inner peace at a time when words could easily be used against you. Silence also shifts the power dynamic. When you stop reacting, the other person is forced to sit with their own behavior. They replay their words, their actions, and their choices in the quiet space you create. Your absence of reaction becomes a mirror. It reflects their conduct back to them without accusation or blame. This often creates discomfort because silence removes the distraction of argument. There is no fight to justify themselves against. There is only reflection, and reflection is where regret is born. Choosing silence does not mean you accept disrespect. It means you refuse to lower yourself to it. You are saying without speaking that your self-worth does not depend on being understood by someone who chose not to listen. Silence becomes a boundary. It says, I will not explain my value to someone who already saw it and chose to ignore it. That boundary is felt deeply even when it is never announced. Silence also gives you the advantage of time to process your emotions honestly, time to heal privately, time to decide your next move with intention rather than emotion. While others expect a reaction, you are quietly gaining strength, insight, and self-control. That quiet growth often surprises people later because they underestimated what you were doing in the silence. Most importantly, silence aligns you with your higher self. It keeps your character intact. You do not say things you will later regret. You do not hand over your power through emotional reactions. You remain grounded, composed, and self-respecting. In a world that rewards loud reactions, choosing silence is a radical act of self-mastery. And that is why silence is not empty. It is full of strength, meaning, and quiet confidence that speaks louder than any words ever could. Emotional self-control is the quiet discipline that separates reaction from response and power from chaos. When someone hurts you, emotions rise quickly: anger, sadness, disappointment, and confusion, all competing for attention. Most people act from that surge without awareness, but emotional intelligence teaches you to pause before you act. Self-control does not mean you deny what you feel. It means you acknowledge your emotions without allowing them to dictate your behavior. You give yourself permission to feel, but not permission to lose control. That pause is where wisdom lies. When you master your emotions, you stop handing over control of your inner world to external events. Another person's words or actions no longer decide your mood, your reactions, or your sense of worth. You become the authority over your own emotional state. This kind of control is not rigid or cold. It is calm, intentional, and deeply rooted in self-respect. You choose how to respond instead of being pulled into conflict that drains your energy and disturbs your peace. People often underestimate the power of emotional regulation. They expect visible reactions, raised voices, explanations, or emotional outbursts. When those reactions never come, it creates uncertainty. Your calm presence disrupts their expectations. They begin to realize that they cannot manipulate or provoke you into losing balance. That realization often leads to reflection and, in many cases, regret, because they understand that their attempt to hurt you failed to control you. Emotional self-control also protects your future. Words spoken in anger cannot be taken back, and actions driven by emotion often create consequences that last far longer than the feeling itself. By choosing restraint, you protect your reputation, your relationships, and your integrity. You remain aligned with who you want to be rather than who the moment tries to turn you into. That consistency builds inner confidence and external respect. There is also a deeper freedom that comes with emotional mastery. You no longer fear being triggered because you trust yourself to handle whatever arises. You know that emotions are temporary signals, not permanent truths. This awareness allows you to move through life with stability and grace, even in challenging situations. You do not suppress emotions, you process them thoughtfully and release them without harm. Ultimately, emotional self-control is an act of self-leadership. It is choosing growth over reaction, peace over drama, and clarity over confusion. When you lead yourself well, others notice. And those who once tried to disturb your peace often realize too late that your calm was your greatest strength. Creating distance without drama is a powerful expression of self-respect and emotional intelligence. When someone hurts you, there is often pressure to explain your withdrawal, to announce your boundaries, or to justify your silence. But true maturity understands that not every decision requires an explanation. Sometimes the most respectful response is simply to step back. Quiet distance is not punishment. It is protection. It allows you to remove yourself from energy that no longer feels safe, supportive, or aligned with who you are becoming. Distance without drama means you do not argue your way out of a situation. You do not send long messages trying to be understood. You do not seek validation for your choice. You make a calm decision and you honor it. This kind of withdrawal is steady and intentional. It sends a clear message without words. It says, I value peace more than proving a point, and I value my well-being more than maintaining access at any cost. When there is no drama, people are left alone with their thoughts. There is no conflict to distract them. No emotional exchange to shift the focus. In that silence, awareness grows. They begin to notice the absence. They feel the space where your presence used to be. And in that space, reflection begins. Often it is only in your absence that people recognize the impact of their behavior. Distance creates perspective, and perspective invites accountability. Stepping back quietly also preserves your dignity. You do not lower yourself to emotional chaos. You do not expose your wounds to those who may not handle them with care. You remain composed and centered even while making a strong decision. That composure leaves a lasting impression because it reflects confidence and self-trust. People may not immediately understand your silence, but they feel its weight. Distance without drama also gives you room to heal and grow. Away from constant triggers, you can reconnect with yourself. You can think clearly, process your emotions, and rebuild your sense of balance. This space becomes fertile ground for clarity and renewal. You are no longer reacting to what is happening around you. You are responding to what you truly need. Ultimately, quiet distance teaches others how to treat you. It shows that access to your energy is not unconditional. It is earned through respect, care, and consistency. And when people realize that they crossed a boundary without noise or conflict, they often feel something deeper than anger. They feel regret. Focusing on growth instead of revenge is one of the most transformative choices you can make when someone hurts you. The natural instinct is often to retaliate, to prove a point, or to make someone feel the pain they cause. But true strength does not lie in returning harm. It lies in rising above it. When you shift your energy from seeking revenge to investing in yourself, you reclaim power that was temporarily placed in the hands of someone else. else. Your attention becomes a tool for creation, not destruction, and your life becomes a reflection of resilience and purpose. Choosing growth over revenge means prioritizing your long-term well-being over temporary satisfaction. It means using challenges as opportunities to learn to become stronger, and to refine your character. When you focus on improving your mind, developing new skills, nurturing relationships, and taking care of your health, you are silently demonstrating that your energy cannot be wasted on negativity. You become unstoppable not because you hurt less, but because you are growing more. Growth is also a form of quiet influence. While others expect you to lash out, to dramatize your feelings, your progress becomes your statement. Your accomplishments, your calm demeanor, your clarity of purpose speak volumes without needing confrontation. People who try to hurt you often underestimate the quiet power of personal development, and it surprises them when they see the results of your focus and dedication. Growth becomes a mirror reflecting what could have been avoided if respect and kindness had been present. Focusing on growth also allows you to preserve your dignity. Revenge often leads to impulsive actions that can compromise your integrity or create regrets later. By investing in yourself, you maintain alignment with your values and your vision for the future. Your actions become intentional and measured, and your sense of self remains intact. This choice strengthens your confidence and builds an inner stability that cannot be shaken by the actions of others. Ultimately, growth over revenge is a commitment to your highest self. It demonstrates that you are larger than the pain inflicted upon you, and that your life is not dictated by the negativity of others. People who once hurt you are left to witness your transformation and often feel regret, not because you acted against them, but because you rose above the behavior with grace and strength. Staying kind but not available to those who have heard or respond is a subtle yet powerful ways to hurt you. It is easy to confuse kindness with weakness and accessibility with submission, but true emotional intelligence shows us that these are very different things. Kindness is a reflection of your character and integrity. It comes from a place of inner strength and confidence. Being available is a choice. It is a decision about who you allow into your life and how you protect your time, energy, and emotional well-being. When someone has hurt you, the temptation is often to continue offering your presence in hopes that they will change or to demonstrate that you are unaffected. But emotional maturity teaches that kindness does not require constant access. Staying kind means that your words and actions are grounded in respect and empathy, even toward those who have caused you pain. You do not retaliate with harshness or bitterness. You do not let anger shape your interactions. You maintain your integrity because your behavior is aligned with who you are and not with how others have treated you. Kindness demonstrates your emotional strength and communicates that you are guided by principles rather than impulses. It allows you to rise above the negativity without giving it space to influence your mind or your actions. Not being available means that you create healthy boundaries without drama or explanation. You decide where your presence is valuable and where it is not. You step back from interactions that are draining or toxic. You stop seeking validation from those who. This balance between kindness and distance is incredibly disarming to people who expected you to react in anger or to allow repeated access to your time and energy. They realize that hurting you did not make you smaller or weaker. It made you wiser and more intentional with your energy. By staying kind but not available, you also cultivate self-respect and reinforce your sense of worth. You are sending a clear message that your time and energy are precious and that respect is not optional. You allow yourself space to heal and grow while maintaining the integrity of your character. This approach prevents unnecessary conflict and preserves your dignity in situations where confrontation might otherwise escalate. Ultimately, staying kind but not available is a demonstration of unshakable confidence. It shows that you can be compassionate without compromising your boundaries, and that your value is not determined by someone else's ability to hurt you. People who have caused pain often realize too late that they lost not only access to your energy, but also the privilege of being treated with consistent respect and grace. Your quiet strength becomes a lasting lesson in emotional intelligence and leaves an impression that is far more powerful than any reaction could have. Healing quietly is one of the most powerful and transformative responses to being hurt. When someone causes you pain, the natural impulse is often to speak about it, to share your feelings, or to seek validation from others. But true emotional intelligence shows that healing is most effective when it is private, intentional, and inwardly focused. Quiet healing allows you to process your emotions fully without external pressure or interference. It gives you the space to reflect on what happened, to understand your feelings, and to release the pain without letting it control your actions or your future. Healing quietly requires patience and self-compassion. You acknowledge the hurt and give yourself permission to grieve, to feel anger, sadness, disappointment, or confusion without judgment. You do not rush the process or force yourself to appear unaffected. You understand that healing is not a linear path, and that true recovery takes time and conscious effort. By attending to your inner world, you strengthen your emotional resilience and build a foundation of self-trust that cannot be shaken by the actions of others. One of the most powerful aspects of quiet healing is that it often leads to a transformation that others do not anticipate. People who have hurt you may expect to see you angry, resentful, or vengeful. When they witness your calm demeanor, your renewed focus on personal growth, and your ability to move forward gracefully, they are confronted with a reality they did not foresee. Your quiet recovery becomes a reflection of your strength and your integrity. It demonstrates that your value and your happiness are not dependent on their approval or recognition. Healing quietly also protects your energy and your relationships. By processing your emotions privately, you avoid unnecessary conflict and drama. You prevent impulsive reactions that could create regret or further harm. You create a mental and emotional space where clarity can emerge and where you can make decisions from a place of wisdom rather than emotional reactivity. This intentional approach fosters long-term peace and allows you to rebuild your life with purpose and confidence. Ultimately, quiet healing is a form of empowerment. It shows that you are capable of rising above pain without seeking validation or revenge. It allows you to grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient while maintaining your dignity. Those who hurt you often realize too late the depth of your strength because it was cultivated in silence. Your quiet healing speaks volumes without a single word and leaves a lasting impression that is impossible to ignore. In the end, true strength is silent. It is shown in the calm you carry, the boundaries you set, and the growth you pursue. By choosing dignity over drama, healing in private, and rising above hurt, you become unshakable. Those who tried to wound you may never fully understand your power, but your resilience, grace, and quiet confidence speak louder than any words ever could.